Welcome everyone, my name is Roberto Peraza. I'll be your instructor today. The class you're all in is welcome to the library.com site. We're going to talk about ebooks and audiobooks. Now just to take a little poll here, how many of you are interested in audiobooks? Alright, a few of you. And how many of you are interested in ebooks? Everyone. Alright, now the presentation covers both. I'm going to skip over a lot of the audiobook. I'll still cover it, but I'll cover it a little bit quicker, just because it seems to be not much of an interest. So I'll focus a lot more of my presentation on ebook, okay, on the ebooks and stuff like that. Now, here's a little disclaimer. Because of the popularity of ebooks, and although the ebooks themselves are very simple and easy to comprehend, the devices that you use to read those ebooks are of plenty. Okay? There's tons. Okay? There's a lot of devices. And everyone's out to make a pretty penny, right? All these companies. So it's going to be very difficult for me to talk about your particular device if you have a very specific device that you want to learn how to use. I'm going to speak very generally about the more popular devices. This includes the Kindle, the iPad, iPhone, and in particular other devices that might have the operating system, like the Android platform, right? Like for example, the Samsung Galaxy has the Android platform on there. So those are very common devices or systems that allow you to handle books. Okay? I will not be able to cover maybe your specific device, okay? Or even particular model. Sometimes the models themselves, one little model change is the difference between whether you can use your Wi-Fi to download directly or dependent on the computer. Okay? So that's actually today's agenda. Okay? Towards the end, we're obviously going to spend a lot more time on that. But there's my name if you wanted to write that down. Also, info@stssico.com is our email address. If you wanted to email us about any questions you had related to today's class, please do so. Okay, like for example, I don't understand what you meant by an EPUB book. Okay, what is an EPUB book type of thing, right? You didn't quite define it, or I don't understand, I don't remember it, etc. That's a valid question. We'll cover it, and you can ask it and email to us. Don't email us about, I broke my Kindle in half, can you please fix it? Those types of things, okay? Don't email us about that, okay? The other thing, the newsletter. You can visit computerkindergarten.com. It's a nice website. It's not so much the website as the subscription to the newsletter. It has a lot of good articles, very simply written, okay? Very easy to understand. A lot of times the questions that you send through info@STS, as the more people ask them, we'll put them in a newsletter for everyone else to also get an answer to. Okay? What does the newsletter have? Just tips and tricks, sometimes even alerting you of scams or hoaxes that are out there about technology, new stuff that's coming out, or things like simple as learning how to create a simple table on a spreadsheet, for example, which is a class that we also teach, like Excel. Okay, so kindergarten. Alright, so this is just library policy if you have cell phones. Now, I don't mind if you take the call. Just walk yourself outside and take the call, okay? Because I know there's emergency situations, okay? Emergency situations, kid falls down the stairs or something, or somebody needs to get out of it, okay? So, I understand. So, you don't have to shut them off. I put turn off, but if you put them on silent or something, that's great. Alright, so this is what we'll be talking about, right? What is all of this stuff? Why is there such an appeal for these things, right? Ebooks and audiobooks. The whole big chunk, though, and this is because of the library's request, I have to teach you how to use the library resources. Okay, the library resources to download these books. You can download books without visiting the library's website, which I'm going to discuss in good part. But that is very dependent on your device's storefront. Okay? So for example, Amazon devices, right, Kindles, go through the Amazon storefront, Amazon.com, okay, to download books. Sometimes paid, sometimes free. iPad Apple devices, they go through the Apple store or the iBook store in order to purchase books or even sometimes get free downloads. Okay, so a lot of these devices have their storefronts. Okay, and that's why I don't think there will be a universal type of agreement, because they all have money to make from having their own storefronts for you to purchase these books. But there is the common location, which would be the public library, right? So the public library resource, which we'll talk about in depth, will be a location for you to go to find those potential books. Obviously, download them for free as long as you have a library card and your library is participating in the website. Okay? And then towards the end, we'll talk about obviously the software that you'll need and transferring stuff to the device. That could get hairy, okay? So I'll just I'll let you know. All right, so audiobooks, in case you didn't know, right? It's a recording of a professional reader, sometimes even the author, okay? And the appeal to it, which I'll show you soon, essentially is that you don't have to do the reading. It's more concise. It is long. Sometimes these audiobooks can go for 3 hours, 6 hours in terms of somebody reading to you. You don't have to take it all in one in one sitting, but that prevents obviously from you to read a book. I did that once. I mean, I don't really see much. Personally, this is personal. I don't see much use for the audiobook, but I did use it. I mean, it was nice to have somebody else read it. For example, I read The Great Gatsby, for example. I read it in high school. And then I downloaded it once through the library's catalog as an audiobook. And it was nice to hear somebody's fluctuations of words and emotions and character. And you get a sort of whole different idea and visualization of picturing the book, okay, and the environment. So that's technically the appeal. Now, eBooks, okay, it is a written material, okay, similar presentation to the printed book. But the difference is that it's delivered electronically. Is that your difference?
Sorry. Yeah.
All right, but it's delivered digitally or electronically. Now, not all books are available digital, okay? This has to do with rights, digital rights, right? And we're in a new era of this whole digitizing our physical matter. So certain publishing companies just have not given up the rights to make these digital. So some books will not be available electronically, okay? You'll have to resort to regular bound book. Okay? Others are printed digitally, and even then may not be accessible because certain publishing rights have been given to a certain storefront. Let's say only exclusive at the Amazon store or only exclusive at Barnes & Noble's type of deal, right? The library, on the other hand, has special licensing volumes, okay? So, but it requires that people, I'll show you later on, ask for it, essentially, request, right? The library will have a few things in their catalog, and that might be disappointing for some of you who are looking to read that right away, right? Right away. But you'll be, sometimes you can ask for it, you can be on the waiting list, and eventually download it, or put yourself on a wish list, and as more people put themselves on a wish list, the library will eventually try to get that digitized version. Okay, we'll see how that works out when we go online. Okay, we'll go to the library site. All right. So here's just the appeal, right? So listen to a book while driving, while doing housework, while exercising, while relaxing, any of those things, right? And they go on portable devices, whether they're on your phone, whether it's on your MP3 player or iPod, whatever, you have it portable for you to be able to listen. You can even put it on a disc, right, CD, and just pop it into your stereo system and listen to it, right? So that's a lot of the appeal for it. It's a way to kill time while you're doing something more important. All right, so appeal of eBooks, okay? One, you're saving, right, the environment a bit, right? No more trees being cut. They're always going to be in paper, but essentially you don't have to get it shipped, you don't have to wait or delay and all that stuff. You don't have to come to the library and waste your gas and come here just for books. You can get it right on at your fingertips, right? Go online and you instant download. Okay? One of the benefits and features, though, of having it digitized is that with the printed book, you're limited obviously by its physical constraints. The weight of it, how good it was bound.